That's a fucking beat right there. That just gets me motivated. Get me all messed up and pumped up and everything. How y'all feeling all right? Good. If not, let's get ready. It's your man Jazz Man with a special edition of the New Legacy Podcast Show. We're right here at the Black Heritage Library and Multicultural Center. Have this young brother here that I met a couple of weeks ago at the graduation party. We're gonna get to meet Mr. Eli Shank. Let me give you some news and information. Once again, the Black Heritage Library and Multicultural Center is also offering memberships. And you know what they say, membership has its benefits. So if you're looking for a membership here at the Black Heritage Library and Multicultural Center, go ahead and give us a call at 419-423-4954. Mr. Christopher Caldwell will give you more information about that and the benefits that are offered through the membership here at the Black Heritage Library and Multicultural Center. Today's guest is a young man who just graduated from Finley High School. He's a up-and-coming musician. I can't say enough about this young man. I'm very inspired by this young man. We're going to talk about, some things, and let's find out, more about Mr. Eli Shank, Mr. Eli Shank, how you doing, bro?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm good. So tell me a little bit more about Eli. Tell people about who Eli is and what Eli is about.
Yeah, so I'm originally from Guatemala, and I was adopted when I was 2 years old by my parents, and I moved to Finley, and ever since I've just been living in Finley, and I have a little brother. His name is Xander. He's talk about inspire. He inspires me every day, man. Like just seeing his work ethic and being able to grow up with him and seeing what type of person he's become and what type of person I've become. It's really a really beautiful relationship that I've seen.
Right.
Yeah, and my parents, they've been so supportive for both of us and both of our hobbies since, he's a hockey player and I'm a musician. Those are two really separate ends of the spectrum.
Right.
But they both my parents know how to really support both of us in our own desires and our own abilities.
Okay, good. So you say you were adopted.
Yeah.
Okay. How was that for you? How was that?
Well, I was adopted when I was 2 years old, so I didn't really remember it very much. But I do know that my mom was telling me a lot about how it was a big transition for me coming to America and, just getting out of that rhythm of being in Guatemala, which is where I'm originally from, and then moving to America. I know she said that she'd have to be right next to my crib all the time, and then that took a while for her to slowly move away and then be able to sleep in her own bed. But I know that growing up, it definitely, it was something that I struggled with, but I think I was able to, control and understand once I, figured things out and the maturity level that I got. I was able to really, respect it and understand it and just, appreciate it.
Okay. So what are some of the great values of having a family that's full of love and full of, support?
Right. I just think it makes me... it makes me and my dreams feel realistic and, capable. And, they really do allow me to put that perspective of having you have to put in hard work to achieve that. But I do understand that, having people behind you that help you push through that really does help you become who you want to be and achieve what you want to.
Okay. And so let's go through your musical career.
Yeah.
What got you into the music?
So when I was in fifth grade, I did this thing for the middle school where it was the fifth graders came to the middle school and watched the band perform. And I did that, and that really was my first musical experience. And I was like, wow, this is cool. So I just immediately planned on doing band in middle school. So then that's what I did. And I played tenor saxophone for 2 years.
Oh,
but
really?
I was, yeah.
Really? Okay, go ahead. Okay.
Yeah.
I played the alto for a little while.
Wow. Yeah. But I joined this thing called Shockwave, which is a middle school drumline when I was in sixth grade. So alongside band, I was doing that. And I really connected with that. And that really showed me work ethic. And especially as a sixth grader, rehearsals were till 9 o'clock. And as a sixth grader, that was pretty intense.
I bet.
Thinking about it now, I, being in high school and having those, like rehearsals and those late nights, like that exhausts me, and like I didn't even realize it, but back then, like I was handling that too.
Right. So now you say you play the tenor sax,
Yes.
but I also play the drums, right?
Yeah.
What other instruments do you play?
Well, I've been trying to learn keyboard. I sing, sing baritone, and I've been trying to work on singing tenor. So like when I go to college, I'll be able to have like a wide variety of instruments.
Yes, what's up? That's what's up. So, what is your favorite instrument of all time?
My favorite instrument of all time, I'd say probably drum set.
Drum set. Okay. And so, what is it about music that takes you away from the world?
Honestly, just like when I was a ninth grader, there was like a few like musicians that I saw on YouTube that really inspired me, and like I felt like the emotion and like what they were trying to portray in their story and just who they were. Like they were so embedded in themselves, and they just knew who they were, and they just didn't even worry about anything else. So they were able to live their life the way they wanted with having music alongside that. And that's just something that really inspired me. And, I had two very influential directors in my time at Finley High School, and they really, taught me like that the value of having good quality like music and having like a good standard for yourself to push you above that. Because if you can meet that standard, then you can go above and beyond that.
Right. So who are some of the artists that you listen to who inspire you?
Yeah. Well, the first artist that I really got inspired was Boy Pablo. He's a musician, and he is an indie type of musician, and that really just like solidified like something, just like the type of style I wanted to have, because like I didn't have a middle part before, but then when I did like see him and he had a middle part, I was like, wow, that's like that's what I want to have. So that's what I had. I had a middle part for 4 years until I got my hair perm recently. Like I've had a middle part for so long, and that's honestly the reason why.
Okay. So what is your favorite genre of music?
My favorite genre? I wouldn't say I have like a favorite. I love music, like just all music. Yeah. Honestly, like just if there's some music that I haven't listened to that somebody's like, yo, Eli, you gotta try this. Like I'm always telling people, yo, put me on some music. Put me on music, because I love to like listen to what other people have like in their like roster, because that just really like that expands my taste, and it just lets me know more about them as a person.
Now you want some real music, man. 70s and 80s, man. You gotta go.
Yeah, 70s. I love 70s and 80s.
Gotta go 70s, 80s. Okay, the Al Green, the Earth, Wind and Fire. I don't know. That's when music was music. Today's music, it's I ain't gonna sound like they got a 3 on it. No.
Yeah, exactly.
So reading music, was that something hard for you to learn?
Reading music, it was, honestly. My first 2 years playing tenor sax, I like really struggled to ask questions about like the music, and it wasn't until high school when I really started to like pick it up. And I had a private lessons instructor, Dr. Waters from ONU, and she really helped me, because my mentor Reese Clements, he really like told me like, yo, like I have this like instructor, and she would help you definitely become a better drum set player and also just a better percussionist. And I was like, oh, okay. So then I looked into that, and I started going, and it just really like opened my eyes to just like how good I could potentially be. Because she gave me hard stuff. Like I was like really struggling in there sometimes on some of the stuff she gave me, just because it was like hard. It was so hard, and I was like, wow. But it really allowed me to be like, okay, if it's hard now, if I could keep pushing myself to be that, be that good. And there were times like I remember when I was a junior, I tried out for like the D3 honors jazz band, and there was a piece of music. It was the second piece of music that we got to like play, and it was so hard. Like originally, it was so hard. I was like, this like, even though I have time, like this is gonna take a while to learn. And now, like after all the like hard work I put into that, both at school and at home, because I have a drum set at home, like every single second I got to like a free time, I was, down in the band room or down in my room, playing that, practicing it. And, when it came to the audition, like I knew it like the back of my hand. And I was able to add my own like flair to it. Yeah, right. Exactly.
And that's the best part of taking music and being able to hear the original and then add your special piece
exactly.
to it. Have you recorded any songs?
Yeah, I did. I recorded a few songs at the Tiffin University Music Camp, and I was just playing drum set for that. But that really was like the first time that I was like in the studio, like working with that. It was hard. Like there were times where it was hard. Like I felt that like that studio grind.
Yeah, definitely. It's, being in the studio, it's definitely something special about it. But when you're in there and you're actually working and trying to create something,
Yeah,
sometimes you get a little block because because of the environment. Because you feel like it's pressure. Like
yeah,
when you're at
exactly.
home, definitely, man, you put some things together.
Yeah, exactly.
So, do you record yourself? Do you have any record?
Yeah, I did record myself like a few videos of like my jazz band performance and stuff, and I put it on YouTube. But I have really been thinking about like as soon as I go into college or even before that, like creating like an Instagram for like my music and just being able to like put myself out there as like a solo artist. But also I do plan on like creating a group and joining other groups just to have that like versatility.
Okay. So, what are you doing this? This with the music. It's so many levels to it.
Right.
And you coming up, pretty much. I don't want to say the ground level because you've been doing this since you was a kid.
Yeah.
So now you get into that secondary level where you
Right.
really want to get into now. This is my talent. This is my gift.
Exactly.
So what steps are you taking now to show that talent that gift?
Yeah. Just like finishing my senior year, I just tried to do like as much as I could to like prepare myself. Like that's why I did choir and orchestra and band because that whole year, like I just wanted all the exposure I could have, and I took music theory, and that really did help me. By my teacher, Miss Bigger, she really helped me understand like key signatures, like rhythms, note names. Like that was something I really struggled with.
So since you struggle with that, let's teach our audience a few things. So I like to do beats and rhythm.
Yeah.
So let's give them a whole note.
Whole note, just like one note, held note.
Do it with the clap. Do it with the clap. There you go. What's the quarter note? What's the half note? Half note. Let's do the half note.
Half note. It's just half the beat. So 1, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, give me a quarter note.
Quarter note.
Okay, give me an eighth note. All right, you all right? You getting that?
Yeah.
See, because some people, when you learn those basics, those fundamentals, that can take you a long way.
Exactly.
So learning those fundamentals, like I say, you had a hard time learning those in the beginning.
Yeah, exactly.
So now you can pretty much move to anything, and pretty much any tempo.
Yeah, and it really like it's like it scales like music is a hard thing. I'll say that it's a hard thing to learn. Like music theory is like it's like math. It's like really it's math.
Count. It's math. You got to count.
You
gotta
exactly.
Rhythm. You got to It's definitely it's about counting.
Yeah, exactly. And just to anybody who like thinks that like music is easy, like it may be easy like surface level to like do something, but once you get like into it, like it's really deep. Like there's a very like large drop off from like surface level to actually getting in the deep stuff.
Reading the music, knowing your notes, knowing the scale.
Yeah, exactly.
Knowing the tempos.
Yeah.
Being able to read those things. So let's say you only now. How many instruments do you play in total?
In total, I would say like 6 or 7.
You like French?
Yeah.
So, which one is your favorite besides the drum?
Besides the drums, honestly, I like the marching drums. Really? Like that was something I was really passionate about because that's what like the indoor drum line was. It was real marching drums and like all that, and that really like pushed me, and that's what pushed me to be in marching band. And as a freshman, I really wanted to be on snare because like I wasn't on snare in 8th grade, and that was something I really wanted. So like all summer long, you can even ask my mom or my dad, like they heard me. I was in there. I would say I was probably practicing 3 to 4 hours a day, just trying to learn how to do it. And it really did pay off because as soon as I got to high school, like the traditional grip, which is like a specific like type of grip for snare, like. The drum instructor was like, "Wow, you have like the best traditional grip I've ever seen."
Wow.
And I'm like, "Wow!" Like that really made me feel good about myself because I was like, that made all those hours that I spent, during quarantine and stuff, like it really paid off.
Now let's go there. So now, did you really spend a lot of time when lockdown? Was that the most time you spent really?
I would say I spent a lot of time doing marching stuff because I wasn't really into drum set then. I was more just in marching, like marching snare, marching tenors, like all that. So I really just practiced, and like I had my mirror in front of me, so like I play in front of the mirror and just like look at myself and like practice on a pillow, which that's like a technique that people tell you to do to get that like that real like good like just stick control.
Right, the wrist.
Yeah, exactly. Like
wrist. Okay, so now moving forward, you're going to. Tell me what's going on.
Yeah, so in the fall, actually in a month pretty soon, I'm going to Kent State at the Start campus to study music technology. So that's really exciting. That's like producer, like musician, like that's in the studio.
Okay, so you want to. So what is your main goal with the music?
My main goal is I want to definitely be a solo artist. I want to be in a group. I'm already starting to make my own group, starting to get my
now,
connections.
I keep hearing you talk about this group thing. You talk about you've been saying now. Why don't you give people a little taste, just a little taste of a couple notes?
I get do a little taste of the note, but I can tell you what I'm kind of trying to aim for.
Go ahead.
I definitely am inspired by the New Edition band, and I do feel like I could make a group that was similar, but I don't want it to be.
What you know about New Edition?
Man, that's like my favorite artist right now.
Really?
I love New Edition. I watched on the way to vacation. I watched the whole like New Edition BET thing on YouTube.
Oh yeah,
and I watched that, and that just inspired me so much because like.
Who was your favorite one?
I would say Bobby Brown originally.
The Browns are bad brothers. No. But okay, so New Edition. Now, are those some of the songs you play, or just to practice?
Yeah, I mean, I listen to music all the time, and that's the main artist I listen to. I just recently got a cat, so I can't really play drum set right now because he's in my room. But I don't want to scare him too much because he's like a kitten.
No, let me ask you something. Now, we know New Edition is good.
Yeah.
What about Michael Jackson?
Michael Jackson, I definitely was in Michael Jackson, like in a really like hardcore Michael Jackson phase for a while. And I didn't really listen to his like newer stuff. I listened to, just the classics, like Off the Wall, Thriller, like just all those classics.
Yeah, you gotta get to Invincible, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Go deep. Does Mike go deep?
Yeah, no, he does.
Mike and Prince are two artists that really, to me, revolutionized music.
Yeah, I totally agree.
That's why I say Prince. Prince played a lot of the instruments.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson, made the beats with his mouth.
Yeah, exactly.
And the songs, the meanings of the song.
Right.
See, that's the thing about music. Music is universal language.
Yeah.
You can speak to your emotions. You can speak to your happiness. You can speak about your family. What do you want people to take from your music?
I honestly, another really big album that like really inspired me was the Silk Sonic album by Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak.
Yeah, you kind of remind me of it.
Yeah. Well, that was like they made that during quarantine, and I remember seeing an interview, and they were talking about it, and they were saying like, we didn't know if this was going to be the last album we made, and we didn't know if we'd ever make music again. So they wanted to make an album that sounded like a performance, like sounded like you were there. And that's what I honestly want to have in my music. Like I want music that you listen to like you feel like you're there in the concert. It's good every single time. Because like Silk Sonic, the album, every single song is good every single time. And like it doesn't matter how loud you play it, like you can connect with
that. And that's how you want your music.
Yeah.
Connect. Make sure people connect and know who you are just through the music.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. All right. So if you had a chance today to perform with any artist, who would you pick?
Honestly, I would say Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak and New Edition, just because those are like my.
This is soul brother right here, man.
Yeah, just because those are so like they're so inspirational to me. Like especially with New Edition, like just seeing them struggle. Like they were in like a really horrible situation. Right. Honestly, like the Jackson 5, like they were like really like you want to talk about rock bottom. They were rock bottom, but they got out of that. and that honestly just inspires me to keep pushing because I feel like I don't even feel like
pretty much your life story.
Yeah, exactly. I don't even feel like I'm, at rock bottom. I don't feel like I don't even have to worry about those things that they had to worry, like financial and and just like worrying about like being in like a bad, kind of sketchy community.
Mm-hmm.
But like I'm able to like go because I'm already like a step above, just like not having to worry about that, and I can just keep going. Like the sky's the limit.
Exactly. So when you say the sky's the limit, now music is one piece of you. What else is there about your life?
I definitely feel like I'm just a very like funny person. Like I love making jokes. I love just like finding the humor in like life in general. Because like all my friends like my real like best friends, they're all like funny people, and it's like I love being around them because like their jokes are like just they're so similar, and it's like wow, that's like something I would think of, or like that's something I didn't even know I could like yeah, exactly,
the wittiness, the wit back.
And I think that's just a good way to live because like there's so much negativity in the world, just in so many levels, and it's so like just it's overwhelming essentially. But if you can like find the joy and like making like fun of stuff, it's just like life isn't that serious. Like you don't have to take life that serious.
Exactly.
Like you only have one life, so like you might as well just enjoy it.
Right, exactly. So growing up, as having a diverse family,
Yes,
and seeing your friends.
Yeah.
How did that? Did you have any feelings?
I definitely did feel like I felt like out of place sometimes, especially with like being in public, like around like I would say middle school type of deal. But I eventually got over that and really like understood. And I'm just like I'm so grateful to have a diverse family because I couldn't imagine not having diversity in my life, and couldn't imagine like not like having just enjoying that because I love meeting people of all different diversities. Like it's like a joy because I love hearing different people's backgrounds.
Exactly.
Because it just makes you have a better perspective in your life, and it honestly makes me feel like thankful because I'm like wow, like I'm really like in a good spot, so like I don't take it for granted.
Exactly, and I can relate to that. Let's say going through foster care,
Yeah,
that
exactly.
nature. So I can relate to some of your stories,
Right.
Some of your stories. So and I had to go through some of that.
Yeah, exactly.
Trying to transition of knowing who your family is, or knowing who this is, but then now growing up in a different atmosphere with more opportunities.
Right.
Because again, sometimes in certain situations you don't have those opportunities, or they may be limited to you because people are in the box.
Yeah, exactly.
But now that now you expanded to a family who is now outside of that box, who's giving you those tools to be who you are.
Yeah,
exactly. And that's the best part about it. And how do you feel about your development when you coming up? All the people, you talk about your professors, you talk about your parents. Who are the people that really inspired you to keep on going and motivated you to say, you know what, this is the situation. This is your future. This is what you can be.
Yeah, exactly. I definitely know in middle school, Mr. Brian Sheehy, he was like my director for drumline, and he was really inspirational because he taught me how to like push through things and really like get through the muck to create something good. And there's so many times where like in sixth grade, like my back hurt from carrying the drums and stuff, like, and just like my stamina, like it really helped me work hard, especially with like practicing. Like he installed like practice makes perfect, and not even perfect because like perfection is like that's like honestly like
it's hard to reach perfection. We want to get as close as we can.
Yeah, exactly.
But we'll never be perfect.
Exactly.
But we get as close as we can to make sure that the mistakes, we limit the mistakes.
Yeah.
And be able to now give the authentic product or the thing that we want to see.
Yeah. So he was really inspirational. When I got to the high school, I had two very like influential directors, and that was Mr. Kevin Manley and Mr. David Coolidge, who were
shout out to those brothers.
Yeah, exactly. Shout out. They were my FFE directors, and dude, Mr. Manley, he's honestly like the best teacher I've ever had because he taught me how to not create something mediocre, and I'm gonna take that with me for as long as I go in music, right. For wherever I go,
whatever you do.
Exactly.
I don't give you watching the dish.
Yeah, exactly.
No, watch the dish halfway. Go ahead, put that sparkle on it, because you never know what that one dish.
Yeah, exactly.
May inspire.
Yeah, exactly. And my sophomore year at FFE, it was so like influential because we won every single competition, like regular season. Like we won it. I had 4 medals from the competition, and we beat every single group, and we beat our like rivals, and that was like amazing. So when we were going into Nashville, which was like nationals, we were going up against 3 other undefeated groups, and that was just like I was like, wow, like just to like have the opportunity to go up against 2 other groups who are undefeated as an undefeated group, like that's like you have a lot of confidence going into that.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's just like that was the hardest like nationals we ever had at that point. Like that was pretty crazy. And we got 3rd place, but looking at the scores, there were so many judges who put us in 1st place and put us above all these other groups. So it really like I was like, wow, like people saw that.
So, to place and something like that is definitely extraordinary because some people
Yeah.
like I said, get a chance to see that.
Yeah, exactly.
And I would say when I was watching the video of you guys, when you had the graduation party,
Yeah.
you got a lot of things that you got going on.
Yeah.
You're playing for the dance, for the theater arts department.
Yeah.
You're doing your own thing, man. You got a lot going on. So,
Yeah.
so now when you're going to Kent State, you talk about want to be producing and things of that nature, right?
Yeah.
Now we got music as one part.
Yeah.
What else are you interested in? Arts wise or
Yeah, I definitely feel like having like photography in with that, just like having a photography background and just like being interested in that would really help because talk about album covers, like that's something I really want, and like music videos, like I really want to have that behind like a good set of skills with those. So when it comes to like making like high quality music videos and high quality for like photography and just like album covers, like I want them to be good.
Okay. So, you just got back from vacation.
Yeah, I did.
Where did you go?
We went to Ocean City, Maryland.
Okay, I see it was on the beach and everything.
Yeah, we were on the beach. It was amazing. I really liked it. And we were swimming in the ocean and stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was great. And we did like so many things. There were so many just like it was such a like chill environment.
And how did those moments play into your musical journey?
I just like it allowed me to just really like have like feel like my family was like with me, like they were like with like I haven't gone on a family vacation with them like since like a few years ago, but like this whole year like we've been busy because my brother's like he's playing hockey all the time, music. Like there were so many times where we never ate as a family together. Like really? Some people would eat, and then I like eat when I get back from FFE at like 11 or 10:30 at night. Like it's just me, and they're like, my mom's like, oh, I made this. I'm like, oh, okay, just like just me eating in the middle of the night essentially.
Okay. So having that strong family support system.
Yeah.
You have no words.
No, I don't. I really just like it just makes me feel like the sky's the limit and just makes me feel like even if like something happens, they're gonna be right there with me.
Exactly. And that's what Mom made me feel when I talked to her. She made
exactly.
me, I'm like, can I be part of your family? You adopt me? Okay. So now, going into the future.
Right.
All right. Now because college is definitely a big step. It's where you find out really who you are.
Yeah.
You're gonna meet a lot of people from all walks of life.
Right.
And things of the nature. Like you said, you like diversity and things of the nature.
Yeah.
Now, and it's gonna open your eyes.
Yeah, it really will.
And have you done the college tour yet?
Yes, I have. And I went when I was a sophomore and a junior. I went to these 2 leadership camps, and they were like very diverse. Mm-hmm. Like there was one kid who went to the same school as me. All the other kids, no, I've never seen them before. I've literally never seen them in my life before. And then at the other leadership camp, which is like way bigger, it was called the World Leadership Congress. It had so many kids, like kids who like English wasn't their first language. Some kids were from like Taiwan, some kids were from Japan, some kids were from China. It was amazing, and that's what I felt like. That's what college is going to be like. Like I'm going to have so many people, and I was comfortable with that environment. So I feel like when I go to college, I'm just going to be like fit in right in just with like all the diversity.
Now, speaking of diversity. Now, how many times have you been to the center here? I feel
like I've been a lot. I remember I went to a camp one time here with my little brother, and that was amazing. I really liked that.
Okay, so now this center, what did it do for you being able to look at the heritage or some of the pictures, some of the
Yeah,
information.
no, it really like just opens my eyes, and it just like inspires me and knows that like this is like in my community. Like I have a place in my community where I can like learn about like culture and just like in general. And I've really enjoyed having my grad party here just because like all the people, like every single person that came in, they were like complimented. They're like, wow, this like I've never been here. Like this is so cool.
Yeah, and how did when you first got in? What was the feeling you got when
Yeah, I just felt like it was a place I knew.
you knew it? Crazy. No, so now learning your history.
Right.
Now, how is your history important to you?
My history is important to me just because it shows like where I came from, and like the situation I was in, and my parents like they took me out of I would say they took me out of poverty, like out of a very like impoverished community and like family that was struggling, and they gave me like an amazing gift, which is a gift to have like just all like so many open doors when I came to America, and them support me on with that too, which is also just a blessing because they could have not supported me, and it could have been like a rough situation, but it wasn't because they supported me all the way through, and they allowed me to like really become the person I wanted to be.
All right. So, there's one question I usually ask.
Yeah.
What do you want your legacy to be?
My legacy, uh, I just I honestly just want to be somebody that people remember as somebody who knows them, and because talk about like just like Tyler the Creator for an example. Like I'll see videos of him like doing stuff with fans. Like I want to be that like person who goes out and interacts with the community. And even if I do have like a high status or whatever in the like, I want to like connect with people on like ground level because I want them to know that I'm just like them.
Yeah, right. You want
Like
to
I don't want them to be like separation from like being like high status to like them being like regular.
Right. Put a label.
Yeah,
You want to
exactly.
be that humble. You want to be modest.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't even feel like me as a person would want that because I want to be like I just want to be the same. Like I just I want to have my passion, but I also want to be in there with like the community.
Okay. So you're saying that you want to be part of the community because, like I said, there's a lot of opportunities on the college campus. Get involved.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of things that you did in high school that got you involved. But what would be one thing, one concentration that let's say to the youth?
Yeah.
That you would want to give back to them.
I honestly, if I do, become successful and everything, I definitely feel like I want to donate a lot of money to just different organizations and different like music programs. And I definitely want to give back to some of the like directors I had, and just like thank them because like teachers like they don't get enough credit sometimes.
Yeah.
Like all it takes is like just like one thing they said that can like help you, or one experience you can give a kid, and that'll just help you. Because I remember my director, he was gone for a little while when I was a junior, and like every single day we were like we don't know when he was going to come back, and he came back the day before Christmas break, and we like got him a gift, and I just like seeing him was just amazing that day because it just like it was just amazing. Like we all were just waiting to see him, and like we were all so happy that he was back.
Okay. So he made a very deep impact on you.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. All right. So who are some of your role models that you feel besides your professors
Yeah.
that really made you say, you know what? I want to be something better. I want to be something greater. I want to be something. I got these talents. I want to be something greater than just.
Yeah, exactly. I definitely feel like just like some of my teachers, like just general ed teachers, like I definitely feel like my first grade teacher, Miss Longenecker, she really helped me.
Tell him it's Longenecker.
Yeah, exactly. Shout out. She really helped me just like become better, and like she was just so loving, and like I needed that just as like going into like first grade, like you're still kind of new to school.
You remember that?
Yeah, a little bit.
So what is one lesson that you take with you every day? I mean, I know we learn things, we have a lot of things that we learn, remember a lot of things that mom probably have taught us, some of the things.
Right.
But what is one thing that sticks out to you that says, you know what, this is a reminder for me every day, or a reminder if I get upset, if I get,
Right.
what-
I definitely feel like, like the whole thing about me getting snare when I was a freshman, because like there were kids like when I was in eighth grade who told me I couldn't, like they couldn't do it, and I'm like, you know what? Like I remember this one kid, he said, like why do you even try anymore? Like you're not good. And like I will remember that for the rest of my life, because that single sentence pushed me to basically become who I was, like who I wanted. And I made snare my freshman year, and looking back on it, like as a senior, I basically got like everything I could have asked for. I was vice president for the band. I was like center snare. I got a jazz band award for like at the end of the year ceremony, and that was the one award I wanted.
So out of all that, so that one thing that made it kind of made you upset.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but now that you look back, you know what? That because I don't know what it is. Sometimes when we're angry or get upset, that's the motivation. Sometimes
exactly.
Something that motivates you, get you more creative.
Yeah, right.
So that's good for you?
I would say, that definitely is. And even then, like with like my director, Mr. Kevin Manley, him putting that like standard of like don't make mediocre, just like
anything.
Exactly.
Give your all to it.
Yeah, exactly. Give your all to it, because you never know. Like you never know who's going to be watching. You never know like what could happen, because all it takes is like I just like listen to other musicians talk about like just their ability and stuff, and it's just like it's a lot of waiting. And when you get an opportunity, you got to take your shot. Like you got to shoot your shot.
Yeah, definitely. If you don't, you'll just
exactly. You'll just miss it.
You'll miss it. Time to be run out. Time to be run out. So if you give some advice to some of your friends, with you inspired me. Because you have, like I said, no worries. You have the opportunities are open for you. What are some of the things you would tell some of your friends to motivate them?
Honestly, I would just say, don't like let other people's like voice impact your journey, because like there's always going to be people who are going to say things. There's always going to be people who are negative about it. Like look at any musician. There's people like hating in their comments and sections and stuff. But just always like look forward, not like to the sides,
right.
Because like all that stuff is just distractions. Because they're not you. They're not like your life. You are your own person. So like you keep focusing on that, because that's what's going to make you like who you are and who you want to be.
I'm sorry, man. It's so good to hear young folks speak like that. When all the negativity is going on, it's nice to see someone who has their head on, who's focused, who's motivated, who's inspired by something. So definitely, it's a little emotional. So tears, just trying to make sure that you understand that as a community, we support stuff like that.
Yeah.
And what is having a father, right?
Yeah.
I mean, mom is, we love mom, right?
Yeah.
But it's something about dad that we got to prove. Man, not prove, but it's like making him proud.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I definitely feel like, I make him proud, because I just am able to do like independent things. And, like today I took my cat to the vet. Like that was cool and all. And like my cat, like when he has an accident, I'll clean it up. I like don't want him like to worry about me not being able to clean it up.
Right, responsibility.
Yeah, exactly. And also like when my brother like wants me to go pick him up, or like take him to his friend's house, like I'm gladly like able to do that. Like I can
that big brother feel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I can do that. And I think the way that my dad is proud of me, because he sees that like me and Xander, my brother, we connect so well, and like we just act like the same.
So yeah, you guys are. That is funny.
Yeah, exactly.
That is cool.
And I think he also is proud, because he sees that Xander's sees me as a role model. That's good. I definitely, there's times where I've made bad mistakes in high school, and that probably doesn't reflect very well on who I am as a person, to Xander specifically. But I'm able. Once I push past that, and just my brother sees that I'm just like, I'm going on the track, and I'm not stopping at anything. That'll push him and get him where he wants to go.
Do you feel like there's pressure being a big brother?
No, I didn't. I mean, I feel like there would be if I wasn't in the spot that I am now. But but I feel like I'm just so self-motivated that like if I can help him any sort of way, then that's just a perk for him, because like I can give my own like resources, my own like pep talks and stuff to him.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So hold on. Hold on now? I know having a little brother.
Yeah.
Does he motivate you sometimes?
Yeah. Oh, he motivates me so much. Because he's like a AAA hockey player. Like he's an amazing hockey player, and he has just so many amazing opportunities ahead of him. And it's so like amazing to see somebody so young in my own household that I'm able to support, because it's just like I can see it. Like I can see his own vision. Like I can see that like he has the potential to go wherever he wants. And it's just amazing. Like it's amazing to see that. It really is. And see his success and see the type of person he's becoming now. And the fact that me and him are just so like tight knit right now, it's just like it makes me like happy to see that.
So you happy you're not going too far away from him?
Yeah, I'm sure that there's times where I'm probably going to be able to take him to like hockey games or like football games, because I want to share that experience with him.
But definitely. Now move on to college now.
Yeah.
You get, about 2.5 hours away.
Yeah, it's about 2.5.
Yeah. So not too far away from the big brother.
Yeah, exactly.
Only a phone call away.
Yeah, exactly.
So music is one thing that you want to study in college. What else do you want to study?
I definitely want to study marketing and business, because the music industry is a very cutthroat place, and it's like you can get scammed. Talk about Michael Jackson and New Edition, like they both got scammed pretty hard for their music, and record labels and stuff, and like trying to do that, like that legal stuff is really like complex, and that's talk about math, like that, like contracts and stuff, like that's pretty serious.
Definitely.
Yeah. So if I'm able to have like a hand-in-hand balance of just having like a very good music like background in the very good music, or not music, business education, that'll just help me so much more when I go and try and go to producers and stuff, and like try and get like record deals and like all that.
So let's just say Vincent. Now I'm full support.
Yeah.
But we always like to look at the backup plan.
Yeah.
Would you like to would you think about being a music teacher? Or
I do feel like I could be a music teacher. That's something like if the whole music like dream of just being like like making songs and like doing all that, I'd love to be a music teacher, because like my music teachers inspired me, and I feel like I can teach those lessons to them, to my my students.
Right.
And I can find those kids who like who are like me. Like I can find them and be like and truly inspire them and make them feel like they have like
a chance.
Yeah, exactly. They have a chance, and they have somebody backing them up. Yeah,
and that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
How does that feel, having that knowing that somebody backs you up? Because sometimes when we get into the industry, or having promoting for quite some time, and sometimes you get that alone, that time when you feel like you're alone. Exactly. When no one when you want people to help and support you.
Yeah.
Right? And they have their own dreams, or they have these dreams, or they talk about them, but you actually start living yours.
Yeah.
How does it feel when you see your friends who had that talent, that gift, that skill, and they wasted it?
It's just I don't even want to say that they wasted it. Essentially, they went on their own path. But that's one thing. Like when I was in high school, there were like kids who were just like so good at their instruments and stuff, and I always made sure to tell them. I always made sure. I'm sure I didn't tell every single person that I wish I could have, but I definitely know that there were times where like I would point out things. I'd be like, man, like you're so good at dancing, or like, man, you're so good at singing. Like I remember like one specific thing. My friend Isaac Weiss, he actually inspired me to start going to the gym. Because I saw like his build, and I'm like, man, I want to look like him. And he was just like, he had just such an amazing voice, like when he was singing the solo last year, and I'm like, wow, like that's what I want my voice to sound like too. Right. So it's like he inspired me. But I remember one time I was like, dude, like your voice is so beautiful, like man, like you actually just have such a good voice.
You compliment people sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. And that was like genuine. It wasn't even like a fake compliment. Like he could tell that I was being genuine.
That's good. So now, with compliments that come your way,
yeah,
do you get the big head?
I feel like I used to get a big head, but now I see it as like such a like honor to have somebody compliment me just about anything.
And I want to thank you because I feel honored that you came to me and said, I really like your podcast. I want to be a part of that. Yeah. That inspired me to let me know that I'm doing the right thing.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's and I appreciate you for that. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
So next step is college.
Yeah.
All right. I see you had a little girlfriend up here at the graduation party.
I wouldn't say girlfriend. I wouldn't say girlfriend.
Would you just say a good friend?
Yeah, she was just one of my elementary school friends.
Okay.
And she's really supporting me all the way through, and that's just nice to have those friends who are there.
Exactly.
Yeah, and like every single friend that came, like I tried talking to them as long as I could because like it was just so nice to have those people there who cared about me, and I could share this experience, I could share this place with them.
Exactly. So how did it now reaching that milestone of graduation?
Yeah.
Now that's a big step.
Yeah.
We promoted from grade to grade, but graduation, high school graduation, how did that feel?
Honestly, my parents always say this. They always say that I have like an old soul, and that graduation was just like I felt like it was just a lily pad. It was just exactly. It's just a pad. And I just feel like having those experiences at those leadership camps that had like a lot of diversity, like I just felt like I was ready. And even now, there's some times I'll be like, man, like I'm like moving soon, and I'll be on my own and I'll have like my own responsibilities.
Are you ready for that?
Yeah, I would say I am. For the most part, I definitely feel like there's a lot of things that I can learn before I do that to prepare myself to be just like independent and have a better understanding of that. But I definitely feel like my parents like are pushing me to have that understanding and have those like being forward with like my responsibilities.
Now, that key word there, responsibility.
Yeah.
What do you feel is your responsibilities right now at this point, being a new graduate?
Yeah. Well, I know for a fact my one responsibility right now is taking care of my cat. Yeah, exactly. Because I talked about getting a cat for so long with my parents. Like I asked for Christmas, I asked for my birthday, and they told me once you get an apartment, you can get a cat. And I got an apartment.
Wait a minute, you on your own already?
No, I'm not living on my own, but I have like an apartment lined out.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I got a cat, and I was out I was forward with the cat. Like I was on like Facebook Marketplace, or not Facebook Marketplace because you're not really you're not really supposed to sell animals. You're not really supposed to sell animals on there. But I was just looking at the Facebook groups, and I'll local and stuff. And then I found a cat, and he was fixed, and he's a boy because I wanted a boy cat. And he's a black cat. His name's Pablo, named after the boy Pablo, which is one of my favorite musicians. Mm-hmm. And I went and picked him up, and now he's been living with me ever since.
Oh man, that's great, beautiful man. Listen, this story here, this is a story of from what I'm gathering, is a story of a young man who, made a transition from one place to another, who now have all the opportunities, the love, the support of not only just his family but the community as a whole to say, go for your goal. Go for your goal. I'm inspired by it because I say, I wish sometimes I have to, I wish I could go back and be 18.
Yeah, exactly.
But to see that you take advice, you listen.
Yeah.
You're going to be one of the best at what you do.
Thank you.
Because you're very humble. That's the first thing about, especially
right.
when you're moving into this, into this realm, you want to be humble. Because, being that big head, you start forgetting about those values,
exactly.
those morals and things that you may have grown up with.
Right.
So make sure you stay focused. You don't want to be like me when you learn how to cut grass and you end up cutting your hand. And
yeah, I remember seeing that. I was like, wow, that's that was pretty serious.
Yeah, it's hitting up real good. It's hitting up real good. It's much better, but I'm just so glad I got my fingers.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so destination I promise.
Yeah.
So when do you leave? Say leave next month?
I leave, tentatively the first weekend of August.
Okay. So we want to make sure we invite you out. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, because before you leave, what we're going to do is all the people who was on the show for first season,
Right.
we're going to invite them back for the barbecue.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to be sending you an invite.
Okay,
I think I sent you one.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. It's going to be on the 26th.
Oh, yeah.
That way you can come out and meet some of the other fellas that's been on the show.
Yeah.
Meet some other good distributors. Like I said again, the support system is here for you. Is there anything else you want to put out there to let the people know?
Honestly, just like with more advice, just follow like what you want to do, because like life is just too short to not go for something that you care about and not go for something you're passionate about. Which is why like music, people are really like, I would say when they're like looking at majors and universities and stuff, they're really skeptical about doing art majors because they think it's like going to be too hard, and they think that too many people are doing it right now. But and I think that with my parents specifically, they could have been like that. They could have seen like me and seen that my motivation was not there, and they would have been like, hey, maybe you want to do something else potentially. But they didn't see that. They saw that like I knew what I wanted, and I knew that like they've always known that I've been somebody who just go out and get it. Like every single audition that I've done, I've just gone out and done it.
That's what's up. Oh no, are you a sport? Are you into sports?
Yeah, I'm definitely into hockey because like my brother is in there,
right.
And I'm into college football. I'm into basketball more.
Who's your team?
I don't have a team specifically for college football.
Whew.
I honestly,
you about to say some Michigan or something like that?
No, I like just watching every single team and just watching how like stats trickle down and like teams rise and stuff. Like I just find that really interesting.
So you like stats, huh?
Yeah,
you like numbers. You're a numbers man.
Yeah, I would say I do like stats and like rivalries and just seeing like what's on the line.
So who is one of your? I know you watch a lot of you watch all the teams, but what is one of your best games you ever seen?
One of the best games I've ever seen, I would say, probably going back to it, like probably when Alabama this past season, Alabama beat Georgia, and seeing seeing Ryan Williams, somebody a 17-year-old kid like beating these essentially grown man. Yeah,
that was a good game. That was an excellent game.
Yeah, exactly. And just seeing like that was like SEC, like that was
Roll Tide.
Yeah, that was just like two insanely good teams going up against each other, and it's still kind of crazy that Alabama didn't get into the playoffs, and even like,
but Ohio State, OHIO. No.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, last but not least. Where? Oh no. Once you get to that point,
yeah.
What is one thing you would like to give back to mom and dad?
Mom and dad, honestly, I think that like if I do like have records and stuff, I definitely want to like show them first. Like any project that I make, I want to show them first because they were the people who inspired me. They were with me in my house when they heard my drumming. Every single like
I know, cause Mama probably was down there. I wish she'd stop beating that drum.
And my neighbors and stuff like they'd hear it too, but they like it shows that I'm actually working. Like it shows that I'm actually in there, like doing stuff, and I just want to like give back to them and show my like little brother and stuff and all that. And I definitely just like when it comes to like financial stuff, like I definitely want to give back to them. If I do, like get like successful and have like like money from that and accumulate a like big chunk of money, I definitely want to give some of that back to them.
Well, my brother, the doors are open for you. The doors of opportunity are open for you, and like I say, you've been set up in a position where, the sky. Like you say, the sky's the limit. The sky's the limit. So I'm gonna be checking up on your progress.
Okay. Thank you.
Mama Shank, I'm coming. I'm coming to make sure we check on the progress. I have to go down. I'm always in Cleveland, but 40 minutes away from Cleveland, so I have to go check on it. But yes, man. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, this is Mr. Eli Shank. Well, I don't even know what to say no more. He done inspired me to the point that he got me speechless. But once again, want to thank Mr. Eli Shank for being on the show today. Again, I want to make sure you understand about the Black Heritage Library and Multicultural Center's membership program. Please, if you want more information, please dial 419-423-4954 for more information. If you want to support Brother Eli Shank, you can definitely check him out. What's your YouTube page?
Yeah, so my Instagram is soyshank777, and that's where I'm going to be posting a lot of like projects and stuff, and just like if I do make a music account, that's where it's going to be, and that's just like
spell it out for one more time.
Yeah, so it's SOYSHANK777.
And what those sevens mean?
That's like a Boy Pablo thing. Like he had like his thing was it was like Soy Pablo 777. So I just copied that, and that's just like what I've just been going with.
Don't know what the number 7 stands for. Because right now I feel like you and your 7, you're complete. You have the complete package.
Yeah.
To be who and what you want to be.
Yeah, exactly.
So man, you're completely sim.
Yep.
All right, yeah, man. 21 equals 3. So
exactly.
When you catch that spiritually, you're gonna be a strong brother,
right?
Even more. But ladies and gentlemen, again, this is the New Legacy Podcast Show, and again, we had our guest, Mr. Eli Shank, on the show. Shout out to this brother, man. If you see him, give him some love. Again, check him out on the Instagram. Much love, peace, and soul. New day, new life, new legacy.
Exactly.
Appreciate you, man.
Nice to meet you.